Today, the soccer star is entering a brave new world in which living for kicks has its own special meaning. The big occasion, fame, travel are all part of the game, and so now are high rewards. All this and the world at his feet. And if he's a Jimmy Greaves scoring here, he has a price on his head to make even millionaires wince. Away from the frenzied arena, the star is still everyone's friend, as Burnley's famous inside forward Jimmy McIlroy is reminded every working day. But behind the Saturday glory, the big game fervour is a highly competitive profession. Out of thousands of players given trials every year by the top clubs of England, Scotland and Wales, only a handful get as far as Burnley's Alex Elder and sign professional forms to begin at 17 or 18, an exacting career in which only the best can hope to reach the top. Fame is the spur, but first, a footballing education. And one thing you soon learn is that football's not just a question of sweeping all before you. Even for McIlroy, one of the few among the 9,000 professional players registered in Britain who's known all over the world, football still means practice day in, day out. Right from the start, a professional must search for perfection. Here's the way many stars begin, playing in the cobbled arenas of Clydeside and Lancashire, or in the new parks and open spaces. But it's not often you find a First Division club's talent scout watching back street players. Who said it was tough at the top? What about the bottom? Never in the 100 years of soccer has so much help been given to those who want to learn the game, under expert coaches like Burnley captain Jimmy Adamson, here passing on tips to the ground staff boys. Every year between 400 and 500 schoolmasters, youth leaders and others qualify as coaches under the Football Association scheme. Coaches such as former West Ham player Malcolm Allison visit schools at a cost to the FA of £10,000 a year. And more professionals are passing out as fully fledged coaches. Here's Jimmy Hill, the player who's done more than anyone to win a new deal for professional footballers, showing you've got to use your head. It all adds up to a sporting revolution, out of which is coming a keener appreciation of the game, a more scientific approach, as this schoolboys international between England and Wales shows to the rather youthful and highly spirited spectators. There's no doubt that the game's finer points are better appreciated now than they were, and nowhere more than in those amateur matches where many a star has first shown what he's made of. Nowadays, the more go-ahead clubs take their responsibilities to young players very seriously. West Ham United chairman Reg Pratt is one of the many who believes in preparing them for the time when their playing days are over. Few players can stand the pace and strain of modern football beyond their mid-30s. But when you're young and mad about soccer, thinking about another job doesn't come easily. And there's still so much to learn from an experienced player like Welsh international Phil Woosnam, Bachelor of Science and an artist with a football. Back at Burnley, another club that goes out of its way to foster young talent, someone's got the wash day claret and blues. And as any player who's been through the mill will tell you, there are always those boots. The one thought of many players is how to stay in the game when they're no longer good enough on the field. Ex-goalkeeper George Swindon landed one of the plum jobs, manager of Arsenal. Here with him are two England stars, Ron Springett and Jimmy Armfield. But now, how's our young professional getting on? He's following the example of the best and getting down to it. And to an old player, there's nothing so sweet as to see a star in the making. Dedicated, self-disciplined, strong in the tackle, fearless, and with keen positional sense, Alex Elder's got most of the things that it takes to make a top-class player. He's got a head as well as feet for football. He must also be able to read a game, to fit himself into the team and the tactics set by his manager. Day after working day he practices, polishing those moves that have helped put Burnley among the footballing elite of Europe, along with Spurs and the famous Rangers of Glasgow. As a fullback, he must go boldly into the tackle and come out with the ball, like that. Ever since the professional footballer was recognized more than 75 years ago, his status has been improving. Slowly and against opposition most of the time, but lately, very quickly. Today, he's neither a slave, nor is he pampered. He gives pleasure to millions. With the top clubs, he gets the best medical attention, with everything from heat lamps to a wax bath designed to get the swellings out of sprained ankles. Yet in the end, everything comes back to the player himself, to his character, his determination to keep on top of his game. Above all, he must keep fit, and this can mean austere living. He moves through the junior teams, into the reserves, and then, if he's good enough, into the first team. This is the moment he's waited for. Into the cauldron he goes. Ahead, greater rewards than players of old ever dreamed of, with cup medals, championship medals, tours abroad, international caps for his native Northern Ireland. To play for his country is still the greatest honour. Here with the England team is Walter Winterbottom, who's done so much to improve English football. But those who really make football the big game are the dedicated players like Elder. They know the glory and also the cost of having the ball at their feet.